blue shirt. It just looks like that because the way the light is in the picture.
It looks like tie-dye.
What's in the bowl over there, Pete?
But they're these.
Oh, you like those?
I like the tongues. Whoa! What's wrong back here?
Yeah? Okay.
Can I go down to grounds yet?
Sure. You want to, that's all right. Yeah.
I need to What?
That's all these places. That's the whole town, Peter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just the right side.
For you.
Just right along both sides.
Chimney. And the airport is
Maybe- You're right, that's exactly right. And where's the house? Where was the house?
Right.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, she was. That's done.
What do you mean?
and Nick Bear.
Darius needs a baby. Grandma. There's a leopard. It's Nick. It's our steps that we need to have carpet on.
Yeah.
And that's when she got a little bit older, not much. And that's when she got older. Who's this kid?
Dad.
Yeah, there he is. With his brother and his nephew.
And there's
So there's Sound Point, and here's Chicken right where that lock dot is. What do you think this is?
Kodiak.
Yeah. Where do you think Anchorage is?
Right here.
It's up here somewhere. I think. That's okay. Where's Jimmy? Can we have it here? Where is it?
They're, well, I'm sorry that PJ didn't come the way I ordered.
Yeah, we can have it.
Okay, did you see
I know,
this
the
picture?
way we were thinking about it, that was vacant, so that.
See this hill on the ground?
Cool.
That's a really long time ago.
Does it stay warm underground?
Yeah, and see the little bedrooms? See the little curtains like you used to have on your mat? Remember? And that's how they got theirs,
To climb up.
to get out.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous view.
I thought you were all pretty nice if you
Chimney.
Huh?
I thought you wanted to get the
Used to be a bunch of trees here when we
No,
bought
I
this house.
understand.
The front of the house there was trees.
No, Montana.
Oh.
Very good trip by there.
Oh, yeah. It's been great. Fall County, make an appointment. Do it during set time.
Now you see the way.
4 or 5. Weekend.
I'm gonna try to focus back, so like the waves are kind of get blurry in the
You can
tree.
do it during Saturday and Friday, but you can't miss one.
I'll probably use that on the
And you
TV
need
show.
to,
College in Wisconsin for these.
Tell me where to go.
Walton College, no, I was always there, I was there. Probably ground the college fair or something. Anchorage there.
yeah. Look all the guns.
Pizza without that.
Huh?
Doesn't have that.
Very careful, I hit the switch.
We got the cheapest fare,
Yep.
$98 for Kodiak Island. I can't believe it's that.
You guys should go up and look at that college fair.
Why? For what?
Just to make sure you don't learn something else out there.
But what we should do is get you guys up to get your eyes checked. You guys are overdue. You know, you have to do that once a month, I mean, once a year. You have to.
7,500 pounds, what's the name of that, News Rich sandwich meats for recall?
Why?
The turkey, the little news.
I never had that stuff anyway.
Well, I just tell you.
Will it have colors?
It'll have color. It's black and white here because sometimes that makes it easier to focus. To tell
So-
things are just right to focus. Sometimes black and white makes that easier. color
Whenever
makes
you
it
guys
kinda
have time to
confusing.
go and get your eyes done, I could just send you guys here and there, we can just go. I might be able to find a driver, if I can't find a good driver.
Yeah. Let that be
A
really
week
steady.
after, yeah. What do you do? A week after that? Because that's what trials start.
No, that's when it's gonna be closed.
They don't want that date.
First of all, so I have it on tape to make sure I get it right. Let me just have you say your name and spell it for me.
Okay, Charlene Smith, Charlene, Smith, Smith.
S-M-Y?
Smith.
I-R.
It's my
Jeff.
dear, it's Smith.
And your role with the diagnostic team, how would you want, if we were to give you a title, what would it
A parent navigator.
be? Okay. And, well, first of all, what is involved in being a parent navigator?
A parent navigator is your link between the parents of the child and the medical team. It's someone that the parents of an FAS, FAE child can lean on to get information, to go to doctor's appointments with, to remember what they don't when a doctor is telling them a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of times a parent will get home and just be so over intake of information. And it's someone to call and say, what did he say? What did I need to do? Who did I need to call? And that's where we come in. We can go with them to these appointments. We can direct them to the right offices that they need to be at and help them make appointments.
Okay. And why is that kind of thing important?
Well, because when you have a child with a disability, you need someone to help out. You might not always know where to go to get services. You might not always know what to do or who to call, and sometimes you just need a friend to talk to. And I think the most important thing is to talk to somebody who has a child with the same disability. Say, my child is doing this today and I don't know what to do. Whereas a professional, they might not feel comfortable saying that or doing that, and when you ask them how they're doing, you know, when a professional asks them that, they're going to say, oh, I'm doing great, I'm doing fine. But when another parent asks them that, they're more likely to say, wow, I've had a rough day.
So it is a pretty complicated thing that if, you know, someone with a child with FAS, you know, it's a complicated thing you have to go through before they get, you know, rolling.
Yeah, it's very complicated and it's a lifelong thing. It's not something that's going to end tomorrow or the next day. It's a lifelong thing that they're going to have to deal with. And at different stages throughout the child's life, they're doing different things, and that can change from day to day to week, and it's nice to have a friend and someone to help you along.
So as opposed to how things were before, you know, the diagnostic teams, you know, were started up, you know, kind of talk about that comparison, you know, and why it's important to have a diagnostic team.
Well, before, parents had no place to turn to, really. You know, they would go to a doctor's office, and if, you know, the doctor mentioned that the child had FAS, a parent might not exactly know what that means, but might be afraid to ask and to dig into it and such, and not know how to take the next step, how to get to where they're going, so they didn't deal with it. And so then you have a child that is creating problems within the home, and they're using whatever parenting skills they know how to use, but that may not apply to a child with FAS. Where we come in and where it's important to have a diagnostic team is someone to help this person along to say, okay, you've been given this diagnosis, now we need to do this, now we need to do that, and talk to them about different parenting strategies, different parenting issues, and the next step with their child.
Sounds good. That's all I really need. Is there anything else that you think you should mention?
No, I just think that it's a great program. FAS is 100% preventable, and that's our ultimate goal, is to prevent FAS, but when it does happen and it does occur, then we'd like to be here to help parents along.
What's your vision for the future?
Oh, my ultimate vision is to have no more FAS children. My short-term goal is to have the parents that do have children with FAS to let them know that we're out here and that we can help.
Very good.
But no, it didn't go.
I was one-
You know, like, okay.
I've never ordered from them, so I don't know.
I've never, I have to, maybe if I go to my, not state, or what do I wanna call it? I go to the shopping cart, see if it's empty. That would tell me, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I see how much money I'm spending. But it's in my cart, so I must be okay, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. So maybe I'll close it because I don't want to spend that much money in one day is kind of scary. But go to not listen to that. Because I hover over this only when the kids are placed it before 2 p.m. Central Time. We did we? It'll ship that day, so it'll ship on Monday maybe. These guys are good. And you'll move up.
Just sit down at your desk and say those words. First of all, can you just say your name and spell it for me so I make sure I get it right?
Okay. Do you want my official name or my nickname?
Well, whatever, we're gonna like write your name across the bottom of the screen, so whatever you want on there.
Okay. Sandy Unruh. SANDYUNRUH.
And you can just look at me and try to ignore the camera. I might peek in it once in a while.
You're not going to sit here and talk to me? Okay, you're going to sit me right here by myself. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. I'll deal with it.
So we should treat her as a hostile interview.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, first of all, what's it like to have Peter in class?
Peter is very energetic, very exciting to be around. He is very, puts forth a lot of effort and cares about his schoolwork. He's nice to have in class. He's a joy to have in class. He's a student that a lot of people would want to have in class. He is easily distracted by the young man behind him, which I'm going to have to figure out a place to put him, the young man behind him. But that's, you know, it's not, he's not the only person who's easily distracted by him. So.
Now, what are some things that, have you found any things that you wound up changing in the ways you deal with Peter as opposed to some of the other students?
No, I don't. Overall, okay, let's do it. Overall, over the classroom, some children catch on to things faster. Peter sits up front so that I can talk to him and make sure he's on task and he's followed directions, and it's easier to make sure that he's following directions. But I also have 3 other people up there for the same reason. Okay, so as far as him being different that way, no. He's, like I said, he puts forth a lot of effort and he tries really hard. And there's some times when I need to keep telling him, you know, Peter, you know, you can't rock in your chair. And you don't just say it once, you just, when it happens, you say, Peter, you don't rock in your chair. And you can try and reinforce that with some kind of consequence, you know. And right now it's nothing, it's pretty much the standard reinforcement. If you rock in your chair, you're writing sentences for me, you know, trying to remember, I will not rock in my chair. And it's like throwing things in the class. And he's not the only person. In that way, I don't modify it. I don't modify the spelling for him. I don't modify the reading for him because he fits in so well. He does in the range of the class and the continuum and what he can do, what I do with him, he does well. I think his brother at home reinforces what's done in the class, and that's really helpful. There are times when he is actually faster and quicker in response than the other kids.
Do some of the materials that you might have gotten from Nancy's office or other places, did that help you out before the year started?
I've had a few children that have been I've actually had training, gone to several seminars, done several things for children with FAS, FAE through the years because of some of the students I've had and the parents that I've talked to. And so what I had is a refresher. What I got, well, I didn't even got it from Nancy, I thought I got it from Judy, so it doesn't matter, right? Neither here nor there. The materials I got from the, I guess symposium, if you want to call it symposium, were helpful and they're as a refresher. And I basically, it's if you can, it's the classroom as a whole has several little boys and little girls that are real active. But the class as a whole is probably one of the most capable classes I've ever had in classrooms. So that's really exciting. That's really exciting for me. I would say, and that's why I say I didn't probably make any new adaptations, where before I've actually had to, say, oh, well, we're going to have less spelling words for this, for this child, or the expectations are different for this child. And they're not. I mean, I haven't done that. And I haven't had to. Now, turn it off and I'll say, now, is that because I don't ask them enough? Or is that because they all just meet my expectations? They're,
Well, my last question would be, if there are other, teachers that are watching this that might, have FAS kids, what would you want them to know this is the first time?
that they will need they're children, and they know this, the children need reinforcement, and a child that maybe has FAE, FAS, might need more reinforcement, might need more reminding. Just don't think that they're not listening to you, because they are listening to you. And I have a little boy that, There's a young man, I guess you call him now, 15 years. I had him in second grade. He's 15 years old now. And definitely, and it was my first experience having, he listens to me, he does what I want him to do, and then he turns around. I mean, if he's doing something that I don't want him to do, I've corrected him and I want him to do something else, he'll turn around and he would do the same thing, just a short space down the line. And so I'd have to do it over again. And just not to get discouraged, because they definitely have the ability. And I look at this young man who's now 15 going on 16, and I look at who he's become, and it's I'm not going to say it's a marvel. I just say it's the dedication of a parent and people around him that have helped him. And I do truly believe that that parents are the first line, families are the first line of education.
Anything else you want to add?
He's highly respected by his peers. He's very athletic. He really is. I mean, they like being with him. He's fun to be with. I don't know. That's personal, though, about Peter, not very general. Just don't assume. I mean, you just can't make assumptions that because somebody's, they say, well, is FAE or FAS, you can't make assumptions about who they are or what they are. They're just an individual child that you're teaching.
Very good.
Okay. I know she choked when I said, no, I don't make any.
Rely on our cultural beliefs.
If you want me to talk, but what we're doing with this class is to promote traditional mask making in the Alutiiq region. That's something that's been lost, and we're using a lot of the material that was collected in the 1800s by one individual, Alpha Pinard, and that collection is in Boulogne-sur-Mer, and we're using a lot of the photographs and his images to bring back this art. We have two students here that are taking the class, so that we can get them to bring their stuff to the museum and promote selling it, and then also just bring it back as an art form. That's something that hasn't been done. There's a few artists. For example, you recorded Jerry Lactonen's work. He does beautiful masks. He lives down in Seattle, in the Washington State area, and so we're trying to get the art to stay here in Kodiak and promote that. And that's what we've got with this. And we got two skilled carvers here. I just learned about Ralph's stuff here in his boat. That's all hand carved. So there is a tradition of carving, and now it's just bringing it back in our traditional forms. I think it's exciting stuff here.
Yeah.
Traditionally, these little maskettes were used for what we think were preforms of larger masks. And it's the same thing I use them for today. Is I'll make a smaller mask and then make a bigger mask out of this as a model. And I'll show you in a little bit some of the collection we have that goes back about 800 years from a site in Karluk, which we're using a lot of these images, and the same one in this picture here. Down here are the little maskettes that we have.
And
well, the wood here, this is something I've been doing on my own, is I collect the little bark and just whittle on it, as Ralph likes to say. I just carve out different faces and then just see, as I work with the wood, I just see which way it wants to go and do something, and then finish that and start another one. It doesn't take too long once you get experience in these. Both of these guys are really experienced in terms of carving and handling knives. And you could see, Kathleen, if you want to show your piece, you made in 2 classes we had. So beautiful work.
I don't know if you could show me what you have so far down there. Kind of tell me, what you're.
I'm just carving away at it. Don't know where it's going yet. Just whittling away.
So you don't really, have anything planned out?
Just kind of get an idea about the piece and just start carving.
Very good. Very good.
Put until 5.
Can I come back then?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna run then. I'll be back. What do you want to know?
Well, kind of where you got the idea, and maybe you could point out some of the techniques and what different parts of it are made out of.
The hull is balsa wood. That's some kind of little thin plywood that I made the cabin out of, so you could see inside it. And the rigging is just out of dowels that you buy from any hardware shop.
And as you, I mean, obviously took some specific techniques to be able to put this together. Is this something that someone taught you to do, or did you just kind of figure this out as you went?
Yeah, actually, my uncle taught me to do it a long time ago when I was small. We lived back in Chignik, so I didn't like the boats, the plastic ones that you bought in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd make my own, and I started getting more and more detail as the years went by.
And how's it feel to be working on the masks and stuff now?
That was actually pretty cool. My sister's the one that told me about it, so I ready to go give it a try. I went to one class so far and made a little tiny mask.
Do you think it's I mean, how does it feel to you to kind of, I mean, obviously have a lot of skill to be able to maybe down the road be shifting and using some of that skill to enrich your culture?
That's what he's encouraging me to do.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's just that's where it all begins, and I mean, you've got a skill that, hey, you market your stuff and promote our heritage. And that's the wonderful thing. It's just the more our people are doing this thing, the more awareness people become. Yep.
Oh, I gotta run. I gotta go pick my mom up.
Yeah.
But if you're still here when I get back, I'll talk some more if you want.
All right.
Skonberg Jr. Can you write it down, please?
Actually, if you just spell it out loud, it'll just record on the tape, and that way it'll be right with you.
Hold on, I'll just write it down. You want it.
Taking that skill and using it to perpetrate the culture.
This is actually my first time carving. I've never carved before. This is all
Isn't that amazing?
he showed me.
Yeah. It is.
Watching
I mean,
him.
it's just, man, that's why I'm trying to encourage her so much. It's like, I mean, you've got such a talent.
I'm the painter. I usually don't carve. This I tried it. I like it. It's fun. I'm actually teaching my nephew how to carve. After I took 2 classes.
Why do you? What kind of motivated you to want to take the class, and why do you think it's important?
I really don't know. It's just to bring back the culture. So I would teach the younger ones that my nephews, because they don't really get like this. So teach them how to carve. Getting too old. I don't know what else to do. That's why I teach them how to do it. I try to bring home whatever I learned from here to them.
Very good.
That we're going to be doing is we're going to be traveling with a traveling exhibit out to the villages to promote mask carving. It's like, okay, go and work with the kids and give them another venue for another outlet, besides, okay, let's, go and hang out and drink and smoke. That's like, okay, well, let's go sit and carve. Tell stories and learn about stories. Like when I carve, I try to think about something positive or a funny story involved in it, and in a way the masks tell a story that make something that's more memorable. I mean, like most of the stuff I do, I give away, I don't sell, and it's fun, it's enjoyable.
Very good.
Well, we collected the bark here in Kodiak on the beach, and that's it. I let it dry for about 2 months and make sure it doesn't crack up. I just started this 20 minutes ago, before you came in.
Now, is that modeled after anything?
I was
specific?
using this, but I was combining a bunch of different things. There's several different features about Alutiiq masks. One is the big nose, larger forehead, and mouths. But then I was looking at this as well. I've seen the cheek and then just the goofiness of it. And I just try to carve where the wood is. And the other thing too is just like there was like a damage mark there, so I'll call this one a hole in the head. And so, there you go.